You know I hadn't.
Put my cup down. Put my cup down.
Tell Fatima I helped out. I gotta head out of here. All right?
Definitely not gonna do that.
See? See how you do me? Don't call me again. If you move again, have somebody else help you.
That's called black privilege, brother. Get used to it. 2021.
Okay, Sistas fans, brief. Well, I don't know how brief this video is going to be, but in last night's episode, Zach mentioned Black Privilege 2021 when kind of heckling Preston, when the poor man who literally spent most of the day helping him unpack his belongings and set up his new home. Ain't no refreshments or anything. Come on. Hell, even in college town, you know, like people were like, hey man, come over, help me move. I got some beer, some, you know, something to drink and some pizza at the very least. But with Zach, come on, man, you wrong for that. You wrong. I know it was a comedic scene, but Zach, you wrong for that. But in any case, I have so many questions. Like I said before, you know, when it comes to like the Oval and Ruthless, that really just effed up my ability to try to map out Tyler Perry timelines, because none of this stuff makes sense. Even going so far as to look back at the haves and the have-nots, where that show began in 2013, yet later on in the show they're making references to like Trump and whatnot, and it's like, wait a minute, that don't make no damn sense. What the hell? I thought the show was still taking place in such and such a time when only a few months have passed. Now you're telling me that it's caught up to like the late 2010s. But in the in Sistas, the show started in 2019, but then somebody pointed out, hey Jeremy, back in season 1 there was a time where Danny told Preston it was 2020 or something like that. And I'm just sitting there like, wait, what? Because I already did the timeline for Bruh, and Bruh season 1 is supposed to take place prior to the beginning of Sistas season 1. But then when you get to Bruh season 2, they make reference to COVID and George Floyd, and it's like, wait, so is it 2020/2021? And that doesn't make sense, because Bruh season 1 takes place directly after, Bruh season 2 takes place directly after season 1. I don't know. It's just weird. I really can't keep track of this stuff. But, you know, time frame aside, let me put it this way. Some people will try to argue that, Jeremy, season 4 was filmed in 2021. That means the show takes place in 2021. No, it does not. No, it does not. Because with Sistas, you can tell the shows, these seasons pick up exactly where we left off. It's not like, you know, oh, because season 3 ended in March and season 4 started in October, the number of months that passed in the real world is the same number of months that passed in the show. That's not how this show works. Tyler just, I get he writes his stuff himself, but he really needs a team, at least for the sake of continuity. Like when you look at shows like Assisted Living or House of Pain, time passes by incredibly fast. Sometimes episodes will have weeks pass by. I think one that comes to mind is the episode from season 10 where Ella has a breast cancer scare, and the doctor says it would take a couple of weeks or whatever for the results to come in, but by the end of the episode the results come in and she's not with cancer. So that shows you each episode time flies by. Not to mention, look at it this way, House of Pain season 9 and 10. Oh, Lisa's pregnant. Oh, she has a baby bump. She already had the baby. And that's within the span of, 2 seasons. Then when you get to Sistas, time just moves by so slow. And the thing about it is, look, last night I'm like, you know what? The show is on BET Plus, and what if I just went through every episode and wrote down, okay, the passage of time, like, you can tell by character outfits, and then whenever we have like exterior shots, we know when it's day or night or whatever. But I'm like, there's really no need of trying to go through all that, because of the fact that it just wouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, if I went through every episode and did the math, and it turns out, wow, I went through everything and the show is about 32 days. It wouldn't matter, because Tyler could just write around that, where it's like, oh yeah, several months have passed. Kind of like, what Andy even said in this episode last night. Wait a minute, I introduced you and Gary to each other a few weeks ago. And that contradicts what KJ Smith herself said in a recent interview about, fans giving Andy a hard time. But something that people forget is, despite the show being on the air for going on 3 years now, each season covers the span of about a week. And that is definitely somewhat true, but in terms of how Tyler writes the show, that isn't the case. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. So when it comes to Zach just dropping the date of 2021, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this season is going to end sometime in August, if I remember correctly. And I don't think we're getting season 5 until 2023. Because Zatima still has to come out. And I think that Zatima is going to be the closer for the rest of the year. And then the top of the year in 2023 is when Sistas Season 5 can come out. I could be absolutely wrong on that, but that's the way I look at it. But I really do feel like when it comes to this writing, Tyler just needs to be a bit more structured. Especially when you add in pregnancy, when that's easy for fans to really follow in terms of, okay, they said this person is so far along in a pregnancy, where's the baby bump, that kind of stuff. Hell, I mean, this was better handled in If Loving You Is Wrong, even though the show spanned, almost 4, 5, how many seasons was it? And the baby was born, yet we didn't know who the father was. So maybe I need to go back and kind of rewatch or read over the synopsis of that series to recall how Tyler handled that pregnancy to see how things would play out. But just know that aside from Lisa and her baby on House of Pain, Alex and her baby on If Loving You Was Wrong, and Linda on Love Thy Neighbor, and a few other examples here or there, Tyler has a knack of killing characters off or killing the unborn child off. Melissa, Have and Have Nots, Sharon's baby on the Oval, and who knows what's going to happen with Karen. So, well, hell, even going back to Haves and Have Nots, Erica was potentially pregnant by David, killed off. Candace was pregnant by allegedly Charles, killed off. So, do you think Karen is next? I don't know. But let me know what you think of the time frame of these Tyler Perry shows. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. But it's just weird how you have throwaway lines like this that make absolutely no sense. So, does Sistas take place in 2021? Do you really not give a shit? I don't know. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.